Ugh, guys, check this out. It kind of just fell into my lap, so I want to tell you guys about it. But so I'm working on another podcast, and for my podcast, I'm doing some research, and I'm reading this Testament of Solomon book, which essentially is about, like, Solomon was known to be the king of the demons or whatever, could control demons, with his ring and stuff. But essentially, quickly, the story is that Solomon watched, like, some boy getting, like, tormented by some demon and was like, well, this is ridiculous. There's got to be, like, some way that we can control them or whatnot. And so that's what I guess the Testament of Solomon kind of like goes into. And there was just something as I was reading this that caught my attention, like this figure of speech. It says, so this is going back and forth. This is Solomon apparently going back and forth between him and demons and trying to, like, figure out who they are. And so he says, and I, Solomon, on hearing this, bound him more carefully and ordered him to be flogged with thongs of oxhide. You see that figure of speech? I'm like, what the fuck? What's a thong of oxhide, right? So I put it into Google, thongs of oxhide or whatever. Look what comes up. Look at the first thing that comes up. Literally straight out of the fucking Testament of Solomon, right? What the fuck? The Testament of Solomon, listen, again, it says in this line 22, he's talking to a demon. He says, I bound him more carefully and flogged him with thongs of oxhide. So, I don't know, I'm looking into it a little bit more. And I'm like, well, what is the origin of the word thong? Because I can't just put in thong and something's going to pop up that's going to give me what I want. Like, it's just going to give me thongs, So I'm like, where does this originate from? And it's like a strap or a cord. Like, it's actually a piece of material. It's actually like it said a cord. And I was looking into it more, like it's spelling it differently. Thongs of ox hide. These are strips or cords made from leather of an ox, right? But then I'm like, well, isn't the word oxide also, like, isn't that a chemical? Isn't that oxygen, right? So then I looked that up. Oh, I said, what's it mean to flog something? To whip or to, like, lash? What is oxide? This is leather made from a domestic cattle, and it's spelled like that because that's how kind of the book spelled it. But then this, when I looked it up with that way, and it says a binary compound of oxygen with another element or group, basically saying it's a gas, right? So just makes me wonder, like, you flogged with cords of oxide. Are you talking about, like, you took literal physical leather cords of ox skin and were able to, like, lash and bind up and tie a real demon? Is that what's going on? Or is it some kind of element or chemical that's mixed with oxygen? I really don't know, but I just wanted to show you guys that I was reading this book, and I see this, like, figure of speech here. I'm like, thongs of oxide. That, like, what does that mean? That's bizarre. I've never heard that before, right? And when I put it into Google, the first thing it takes me to is this. It's almost like they're purposely, like, saying, like, ha, they know something that we don't. I mean, it's kind of oddly peculiar and a little bit too much of a coincidence to say that that's not correlated to this, right? Like, I don't know. But that's why I'm saying, is it a leather cord? Or is it some kind of chemical compound that's mixed with an element of oxygen or whatnot? Because apparently that's another thing that they go into in this book, which I'm not going to touch on now. But what the fuck, guys? I'm telling you, this shit just, like, fell into my lap. And I don't know. I just looked up thongs of oxide, and this comes up.